What's going on, Knuckleheads? GCam Gaming here with another LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed video for you. And today, back in the studio, I have Vintage, continuing our series on what is to come, possibly in LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed. And today, Vintage and I are going to be talking about the castle and collectible tags and what stuff we might have in store for them. Take it away, Vintage.
Alright, so this time's a little different. We only got one thing for Castle, which happens to be a set. Then we got some collectible minifigures to look at because they don't really have sets. So we're just going to combine them both together in one video for you guys. Alright, so we'll start with the sets as normal. We got set 6060 Knights Challenge for the Castle faction.
Okay, is that the jousting one?
I believe this is the jousting set.
Yeah, I think I had it. Or I still have it, but
So,
not built.
yeah, this one is just in the files. Nothing particularly special about it, like in the other sets where there is some that are shown. This one is not shown, but I do think it has a good chance.
Yeah, maybe it could have some sort of...
They do really like this era of Castle. So
maybe some sort of King's Court synergy, because even though King's Court like dominated the game for so long, they never really had a set that was per se a King's Court set. They always ran Guarded Inn, which was just Castle, and then they've kind of... Magisto's Tower is really magical, not really a King's Court thing. So I could see this being a King's Court type set.
Yep. I think it would also give a little bit of diversity to the kinds of sets that we do have. Because this is a little bit different of a set than what is out there.
Yeah.
With this being more of a kind of like setting kind of set instead of a place, you know?
Instead of an actual like building.
Yeah.
No, it's a cool set, and maybe it could add a little more offensive firepower to the King's Court tag so that they can kind of find viability again.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool for the King's Court. I think that would go great with this, but this one's still very up in the air. It was only found in files, nothing else really about it out there. So
yeah, I mean, my impression is they probably don't... There's a lot of castle figures in the game. When you really, really click that castle tag and you see how many castle figures there are, because those figures that you think of as spooky, most of those are castle too, right? Even Ghost, Yorick, Basil, Willa, like there's just a lot of castle figures in the game. Now, granted, there's a pretty, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, how like I felt like there was really nothing left to add but the Islanders for Pirates. I feel the opposite about Castle. I feel like there is stuff left to add. You know, you can give a classic Black Falcon, so like a foil to Headley, maybe like just a generic attacker type for a Castle. And then there's the whole fantasy series where they had the dwarfs, the trolls. So there's the Troll King, the Troll Sorceress, maybe an evil wizard. So there is some still cool stuff that they could do for Castle. I just don't think that they were planning on doing it anytime soon. I doubt this dev team is.
I will say, to go along with that, I think out of all of the like factions, I think Castle has the largest diversity of stuff that they can choose from.
Yeah,
well,
agreed.
I guess City might be a close competitor with that, but I think Castle has a lot more of that vintage, really cool, like nostalgic era to it, and I think that is really something that they should tap into because there is a lot of cool stuff from there.
There's also Knight's Kingdom 2. So that was like one of the first LEGO sets where they named the minifigures, like they were named characters, where they were all the different colors. There was like a purple knight who was a wolf, a green knight who had like a monkey on his shield. Those guys, I mean, that would be you'd have to do a whole takeover for them. Because that was a really cool series that was pretty popular for a lot of years.
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and go on to the minifigures now. So we're taking a step away from Castle, and now we're going into the collectible sides of things. So we're not going to consider Super Wrestling Corncob Guy.
They're already
just because those are out there. They're in the game officially now. You can see them in the menu. So we're not going to count those. But we'll start with Series 12. We have the Piggy Guy.
Another costumed hero.
Another costumed hero indeed. And I think, I will say out of all of them listed, I think he might have the best chance, especially since they kind of have the food kind of theme going almost. Like they have the chicken soup guy, they have the corn cob guy, they have the hot dog man. Adding a piggy guy, I think that'd go great to kind of round out that kind of flow that they have going.
Yeah, and we know that they want the costume theme to be good. They probably want to do an all-star event for costume. They want to really push this theme, so they're going to need new figures because the old ones are bad.
Exactly.
Okay. Piggy
so
suit guy.
I think that would be a cool one. But we do have another costume one, and from Series 17, we have Rocket Boy.
Ooh, that's the one I'm pulling for.
I think this one would be a great kind of crossover with costume because you can push this into space even.
Or techie.
Or that, yeah, exactly. So I think that he is also a very good possibility, but I think he would more synergize better with space than he would with like costumed or collectibles.
Yeah. So give him those space synergies. I mean, he's got the costume tags, but his abilities are going to synergize with space units. Kind of like how Hiker synergizes with city units.
Exactly.
I like that. That's actually pretty... he's a really cool looking minifigure. If you haven't looked him up, I mean, he's going to be on the screen, so just check him out. It's a really cool looking minifigure.
Mm-hmm. And then we got one last one that costs more than you probably spent on Ghostbusters. Mr. Gold from Series 10.
Yeah, when I did that poll, so I did a poll of like the top 10 most wanted from the community. I had like almost 300 people vote on this. Mr. Gold was by far got the most votes. Like out of 300 people, I think he got over 80 votes.
Yeah, he is a super cool minifigure and also a very iconic minifigure to LEGO, and especially the series sets of minifigures.
Yeah. I think
very, very
really
iconic. Cool. Super cool character. I would just love to see him in the game because I think he's just a really cool kind of like memento to a piece of LEGO history. Yeah. I mean, he's not that old. 2013 is when he was released, but still a super cool.
I think we're looking at the 2-year anniversary Chase figure.
I think he'd be very cool to add.
Yeah.
I would love to see him in the game personally.
Maybe next anniversary they'll do the anniversary brick pace, and then they'll do a Mr. Gold Master event that only comes once a year. Like that would be pretty dope. And then everyone will complain that he only comes once a year.
So that's it that we have for those, but I'm going to throw in a bonus one on this one for those who stayed to the end of another figure that's not going to be playable, I don't think. But I think we have a good chance of seeing it in the raids, which you guys have all seen this character already in the game. Do the little text speeches and interactions the characters have with each other. But Rorim, I think that's how you say it at least. He is in the game, and he does have a bit of a kit started on him, or at least last I knew. So he is another good bet of a character that could come.
He's a cool
it's a completely Gameloft made character, but I think that is a cool one to come.
Yeah, I like the prediction of him being the raid boss because it seemed like something that the old dev team was developing this character through the campaigns, and then raids was going to be this big thing they built up to where, okay, now you actually get to go fight Rorim.
Exactly. He's really cool figure too, completely custom made by Gameloft. Well, I don't know if Gameloft originally theorized the idea or if he was created somewhere else, but he is a custom made figure in game.
You can't buy him anywhere.
And the fact that he is a custom made figure in game, I see them using him outside of just, the campaign.
Yeah, he's not gonna. I always wonder, like, when am I gonna get to fight this guy? Like, there's no way they just put him in there for this storyline that some people probably don't even read.
Mm-hmm. So I think he's one to look forward to, because I think he will make his appearance back in the game at some point.
Yeah. So I mean, that's some good news of what's in there. And as we've talked about in previous videos, we do think they're going to kind of stick to what's already in the code just to play it safe, make it easier on them. You got to think from their end, they're trying to get stuff out to us as quickly as they possibly can. So it's much easier for them to finish stuff that's already there, like they did with Corncob and Wrestler, than it is to put completely new stuff in the game. So while that might be kind of upsetting for some of us, this is the stuff that we're probably going to be looking at getting within 2021 and 2022.
And I think that brings up another good point. Super Wrestler and Corncob Guy both have been in the game since the very beginning. Yeah. So I think that it's safe to say they're kind of going back to the roots when they very first kind of looked at this game and was like, where do we want to go? And I think they're starting to go back down those paths.
Yeah, I think that they're, the old dev team had a plan laid out, and it's just easier for the new dev team to follow that plan the best that they possibly can. But that's just me.
Yeah, but that's all I got for this little set.
All right, well, that's all we got for you today, Knuckleheads. Please remember to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell for some notifications, and as always, remember to knuckle up.
Don't know why